signs that the Holy Spirit wants you to change your path. Don't ignore them. When life seems to be moving in one direction, but something deep inside tells you that it no longer feels right, that is often not just your own thought. It is a gentle whisper from the Holy Spirit, nudging you, calling you, inviting you to realign with the divine purpose designed for you. Many people ignore these whispers, brushing them aside as mere feelings, coincidences, or temporary doubts. But those who are truly awakened understand that these moments are not random. They are sacred signals. And today, we are going to walk together through these signs, so that when they appear in your own life, you will not dismiss them, but embrace them. Before we go further, let me ask you, have you ever felt a strange restlessness in your soul? A kind of inner unease that no success, no relationship, no distraction could calm? That restlessness is often the Spirit telling you that where you are right now is not where you are meant to remain. It's a holy disturbance, a discomfort designed to awaken you. Instead of resisting it, you must listen carefully. And while you are here listening, I want to remind you, this message might be the very confirmation you have been praying for. If you feel connected to these words, do not let this moment pass you by. Subscribe to this channel, because together we dive deep into the mysteries of faith, spiritual growth, and the voice of God that so many people overlook. And if you stay until the end, you will not only recognize the signs of the Spirit, but also understand how to respond to them in a way that transforms your destiny. One of the first signs that the Spirit is calling you to change your path is when your peace is stolen by a path you once thought was right. Maybe you once felt joy in your career, your relationship, or your ambitions, but suddenly that joy is gone. No matter how hard you try to revive it, it slips away. That absence of peace is not a punishment. It is a signal. The Spirit often withdraws peace when He wants to direct you elsewhere. Peace is the compass of the soul, and when it disappears, you must ask, what is the Spirit trying to tell me? Another sign is when doors that once opened easily for you suddenly begin to shut one after another. It may feel like rejection, it may feel like failure, but in reality, it is redirection. The Spirit knows what lies ahead of the doors you're trying to push open, and sometimes He will not allow you to step into spaces that will eventually destroy you. So if you are facing closed doors today, take a moment to see them differently. They may not be barriers, they may be divine protection. But the Spirit doesn't only speak through loss or discomfort. Sometimes the Spirit introduces new opportunities, new people, or new desires that feel strangely aligned with your soul. You may not understand why you're drawn to them, but you can sense that they are a part of a bigger picture. When that happens, you are not just dreaming. You are being guided. I want you to reflect on this. The Spirit does not want you to stay in the wrong place, out of fear, out of habit, or out of pressure from others. If you feel a push within your soul to move, to change, to take a new step, it is not by chance. It is heaven's call. And before we go further into the deeper signs, I want to invite you again. If you feel this message stirring something in your spirit, let this channel be your home for guidance and growth. Hit the like button so more people can hear this truth, and share this message with someone who might also need to hear it. Together, we can spread light where darkness tries to dominate. Sometimes the Holy Spirit does not whisper, but shouts through the circumstances of your life. You may notice that what used to flow smoothly has now become a constant struggle. Every step feels like you're walking against the current. Every effort seems heavier than it used to be. This is not always a sign that you are failing. It may be a sign that you are forcing yourself to remain on a path where the Spirit no longer wants you to be. When the grace for a season has lifted, you will feel resistance where you once felt favor. That resistance is the Spirit gently closing the chapter. Another way the Spirit communicates is through divine dissatisfaction. You may have everything you once prayed for, the job, the relationship, the achievements, the recognition, and yet, in the quiet of your heart, you feel empty. You begin to ask questions like, is this all there is? Or, why do I still feel unfulfilled? That emptiness is not there to torment you. It is there to redirect you. The Spirit is reminding you that your destiny is bigger than your comfort zone, bigger than what you have settled for. At times, the Spirit also uses repeated messages to get your attention. Perhaps you keep hearing the same words, the same theme, the same reminder through conversations, songs, videos, even strangers. You may brush it off at first, but when the same message follows you everywhere, that is not coincidence. That is confirmation. The Spirit will repeat Himself until you listen. There are also moments when the Spirit places new convictions in your heart. Things you once tolerated suddenly feel heavy to your conscience. Behaviors, conversations, or environments that never used to bother you now make you feel out of place. That shift is the Spirit purifying you, preparing you for a higher path. When your inner standards rise without anyone telling you to change, that is the Spirit leading you forward. And let's not forget the sign of unexpected endings. A friendship that suddenly dissolves, a job that suddenly ends, a plan that suddenly collapses. In the natural, it looks like loss, but in the spiritual, it may be deliverance. The Spirit removes what you cannot release to save you from a future you cannot yet see. If something ended abruptly in your life, take a step back and ask, could this ending be a divine beginning in disguise? In all these signs, one thing is clear. The Spirit does not want you to ignore His voice. He wants you to trust that even when you don't understand the why, He is guiding you to a safer, better, holier path. Now let me ask you something personal. Have you felt lately that your spirit is uneasy, that your peace is gone, or that your path feels heavier than it should? If so, don't brush it off. This may be your sign. This may be the Spirit telling you to change direction. And as you reflect on this, take a moment right now to engage with this message. Drop a comment below with the words, I choose to follow the Spirit's guidance. Because when you declare it, you strengthen your commitment to listen. And don't forget, subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss the next message that could change your entire journey. There are times when the Spirit doesn't just shift your external world. He stirs your inner world in ways you can't explain. One of the clearest signs is when your spirit begins to feel restless in places where you once felt at home. It could be your circle of friends, your workplace, or even your daily habits. Suddenly, what once gave you joy now feels shallow. You begin to sense that your growth is being limited, that your soul is suffocating, that restlessness is not random. It is the spirit whispering, "You have outgrown this space. It is time to move forward." Another sign is through your dreams and your inner vision. While not every dream carries a message, there are moments when you wake up with an impression so strong that it lingers throughout the day. You may see yourself walking away from certain environments or stepping into new ones. You may feel warned about certain choices or inspired towards new directions. The Spirit often plants seeds in your subconscious to prepare you for the changes that your conscious mind is resisting. When you begin to notice dreams repeating or leaving deep marks on your emotions, don't ignore them. They may be instructions from above. The Spirit also communicates through divine timing. Imagine you've been planning something for months, but no matter how hard you push, the pieces never come together. Then, out of nowhere, a different opportunity presents itself, and everything falls into place effortlessly. That alignment is not luck. It is orchestration. When things begin to line up in ways you could not have engineered, it is the Spirit saying, "This is the path I want you on." Sometimes the Spirit will also allow you to feel disconnected from the voices around you, so that you begin to seek His voice more clearly. You may notice that the advice of others no longer satisfies you, or that following popular opinion leaves you emptier than before. That isolation is not rejection. It is redirection. The Spirit is pulling you away from noise so you can hear truth. And one of the most powerful but often overlooked signs is conviction. Deep inside, you begin to feel a weight, a pull, a knowing that something must change. It's not fear, it's not guilt. It's a holy conviction that will not let you settle. Conviction is the Spirit's way of guiding your moral compass, showing you the difference between the path of compromise and the path of calling. When conviction rises, it's not there to condemn you. It's there to guide you. I want you to think for a moment. Have you felt conviction lately about certain habits, relationships, or directions in your life? If so, don't push it away. That's the Spirit calling you to a higher place. And before we continue into even deeper signs, I want to remind you once again, don't walk this journey alone. Subscribe to this channel, not just as a button you click, but as a commitment to grow spiritually every single week. Share this message with someone you love, because sometimes the sign they're waiting for might come through you. One of the most profound ways the Holy Spirit speaks is through people. Sometimes it's not a booming voice from the heavens that guides you. It's a simple conversation, a sentence spoken at the right time, a word from a stranger that seems to echo exactly what you've been wrestling with in your heart. These are not coincidences. They are divine appointments. When the Spirit wants to redirect you, He often places people in your path who carry the message you need to hear. It might be a friend who suddenly speaks with unusual clarity, telling you to reconsider your choices. It might be a mentor who appears unexpectedly in your life, offering wisdom that opens your eyes. It might even be someone you didn't know well, yet the words they speak strike your soul like lightning. When multiple voices confirm the same thing, pay attention. That is not the noise of the world. That is the echo of heaven. Another sign comes through what many call synchronicities. You may think of them as strange coincidences, but in reality, they are alignments. Imagine thinking of making a baby change in your life, and then everywhere you look, on billboards, in conversations, in random videos, you see the same theme, the same encouragement, the same answer. The Spirit often repeats the message in different forms until you cannot ignore it. This repetition is His way of ensuring you understand. This is not just your thought. This is my guidance. The Spirit also uses divine disconnections. Have you ever noticed that certain people begin to drift away from your life without any conflict, without any clear reason? At first, it may hurt or confuse you, but later you realize they no longer belonged to the path God was preparing for you. The Spirit knows who can journey with you and who cannot. When He removes people, it is always with purpose. Instead of clinging to what is leaving, trust the space being created, because new connections are often waiting on the other side. And here is a crucial truth. The Spirit never leads you to change your path without also providing the resources, the support, and the inner strength you will need. When the Spirit calls you to shift, He also sends helpers, people who appear in just the right season to uplift you, encourage you, and sometimes even provide what you lacked. These helpers are living signs that you are on the right road. Think about this carefully. Who has entered your life recently with a message, a gesture, or an opportunity that seemed too aligned to be accidental? Who has left your life recently in ways that you couldn't control? These are not random. They are road signs placed by the Spirit. And if you're listening right now and you realize that you've experienced this, people showing up at the right time, doors opening unexpectedly, confirmations appearing everywhere, this is your reminder not to dismiss it. This is your confirmation that the Spirit is guiding you. Take a moment right now to write in the comments, "I will not ignore the Spirit's signs." By doing so, you're not just engaging. You're declaring your faith, your openness, your willingness to follow the path prepared for you. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and join this family, because this channel is designed to keep you spiritually awake and aligned with God's voice. One of the most overlooked signs that the Holy Spirit wants you to change your path is found in your struggles. It is not always through blessings or comfort that He guides you. Sometimes it is through storms. You may face setbacks that feel overwhelming. Plans collapse, relationships crumble, finances suddenly dry up. These painful moments can make you question everything. But often they are not meant to break you. They are meant to wake you. When the Spirit sees you heading in a direction that will not lead to your growth, He sometimes allows difficulty to shake you free, because without discomfort, most of us would never move. Think about it. We often cling to the familiar, even when it no longer serves us. We stay in jobs, relationships, or lifestyles that drain us simply because they are comfortable. And so, the Spirit permits the shaking to push us toward change. The storm becomes the messenger. Another powerful sign is when the things you used to rely on begin to fail you. The support you always had disappears. The resources you counted on dry up. The people you trusted let you down. These losses, though painful, are not abandonment. They are redirection. The Spirit is teaching you not to lean on what is temporary, but to open your eyes to what is eternal. When the old crutches break, it is a sign that you are being called to stand on new ground. Transitions can feel like chaos, but they are often the birthplace of transformation. Imagine a seed. It must first break apart before it can grow into a tree. In the same way, sometimes your life must crack open before your destiny can emerge. The breaking you feel today may be the Spirit planting you into something greater tomorrow. The Spirit also speaks through exhaustion. When you reach a point where you can no longer force yourself to continue as before, when the thought of staying on the same path drains your energy and your soul, that is not weakness. It is revelation. It is the Spirit telling you that you were not created to live in that way. He is showing you that it's time to release the burden and step into alignment with His will. And here is a truth you must remember. The Spirit never wastes your pain. Every trial, every disappointment, every ending carries within it a hidden instruction. If you dare to look closely, you will see that the very things you thought were destroying you were actually guiding you. The heartbreak was the sign. Stuart's failure was the sign. The closed chapter was the sign. So, the next time you face loss, instead of only asking, "Why did this happen to me?" dare to ask, "What is the Spirit trying to show me through this?" That shift in perspective can transform your suffering into a compass. Right now, if you feel like you are in a season of shaking, let me encourage you. Don't run from it. Don't numb it. Don't dismiss it. Lean in, because within the shaking lies your new direction. And if this message is touching your heart, take a moment to affirm it publicly. Write in the comments, "I trust the Spirit even in my trials." Your words are seeds, and when you declare them, they remind your soul that this pain has purpose. And of course, if you haven't yet subscribed, now is the perfect moment. Stay connected, because week after week, we go deeper into these truths, helping you not just hear God's call, but answer it. Not every sign from the Holy Spirit comes wrapped in struggle or endings. Some of the clearest signs appear in the form of deep, unshakable peace. When you're considering a change and your mind feels uncertain but your heart rests quietly, that peace is not human, it is divine. The Spirit often confirms your new path by giving you a calmness that makes no sense in the natural. Others may look at your choice and question you, but inside, you know. That knowing is the Spirit's fingerprint. Another sign is clarity. When you are aligned with the Spirit, confusion begins to lift. What once felt complicated suddenly becomes simple. Your thoughts organize themselves. You see with sharper vision. This clarity doesn't always mean you have the full map, but it means you have enough light to take the next step. The Spirit rarely reveals the whole journey at once. But when He wants you to change your path, He will show you the first direction with unusual clarity. The Spirit also ignites new passions within you. Have you ever noticed a sudden desire to do something different, something that aligns more with your soul, even if it makes no logical sense? It could be a new calling, a new purpose, a new dream that rises within you like fire. At first, you may dismiss it as imagination, but when it persists, when it grows stronger day by day, it is often the Spirit planting purpose in your heart. Those passions are not random. They are instructions for your destiny. Another positive sign is divine provision. You may decide to take a small step toward change, and suddenly resources appear. An opportunity you didn't expect. Support you didn't ask for. Strength you didn't know you had. These provisions are confirmations. They are the Spirit's way of saying, yes, this is the path I've prepared for you. And perhaps one of the most beautiful signs is alignment with joy. When you step in the direction the Spirit is calling you, there is a joy that no circumstance can take away. Even when challenges arise, something in you feels alive, connected, free. That joy is the Spirit's whisper that you are walking the right way. So, if you are experiencing peace where others expect you to panic, clarity in the middle of uncertainty, or new passions rising within you, do not ignore it. That is not coincidence. That is guidance. Now, let me pause and ask you, do you feel something stirring inside you as you hear this? If you do, take a moment to affirm it. Write in the comments, I choose peace as my guide. When you speak it, you anchor it. And don't forget, stay connected by subscribing and sharing this message, because you never know who else might be waiting for this exact confirmation in their life. The Holy Spirit often speaks through time itself. You may notice that certain seasons of your life seem to be moving very quickly. Doors opening, opportunities flowing, and then suddenly everything slows down. At first, you may panic, thinking that you've lost momentum or that life is punishing you. But the Spirit uses these seasons of pause as sacred interruptions. He slows you down not to harm you, but to reposition you. When everything you try seems delayed, when progress feels impossible, you are not stuck. You are being still for a reason. The Spirit knows that if you kept moving at your current speed, you would miss the turn He is preparing for you. So He allows divine delays, not to frustrate you, but to protect you. That waiting is not wasted. It is a sign. Another sign is when the Spirit shifts the timing of your desires. Something you once wanted urgently no longer feels right. And something you never considered suddenly becomes urgent in your heart. That shift in timing is not random. It is orchestration. The Spirit is aligning your heart with heaven's calendar. What you thought you needed yesterday may no longer serve you today. And what once felt impossible suddenly feels necessary. That's the Spirit working in time. Sometimes the Spirit even uses exhaustion in your calendar. When your schedule becomes so heavy that you can no longer carry it, He may be telling you, it is time to let go. It is time to prioritize differently. It is time to change your path. Overcommitment can be a spiritual sign that you are living outside of the assignment given to you. And here is something many overlook. The Spirit also uses seasons of silence. You may pray, seek answers, and hear nothing. That silence is not rejection. It is redirection. In silence, the Spirit teaches you to trust timing, to cultivate patience, to listen deeper than your ears. When the Spirit is quiet, it is often because He is preparing you for something bigger than your current understanding. So when you feel delayed, slowed, silenced, or redirected in time, don't see it as a curse. See it as a compass. The Spirit is aligning your life with a rhythm far greater than your own. Let me ask you this. Are you in a season right now where nothing seems to move forward? Are you frustrated by delays you can't control? If so, take heart. This is not the end. It is the sign. The Spirit is positioning you for the shift you cannot yet see. And if you feel this message touches your situation, pause for a moment and write in the comments, "I trust God's timing." Because when you declare it, you are choosing faith over frustration. And if you're not yet subscribed, don't wait. Stay connected. These teachings are not random. They arrive exactly when you need them. That is the Spirit's way of guiding you step by step. One of the clearest ways the Holy Spirit speaks to you is through your inner voice. Not the loud thoughts of fear or anxiety, but the still, quiet impression that rests deep in your heart. It doesn't shout. It whispers. Yet that whisper carries a weight, a certainty that you can't ignore. You may call it intuition, but in truth, it is inspiration from above. When the Spirit wants you to change your path, He will place a deep knowing inside you that doesn't come from logic. It comes from revelation. You may find yourself saying, "Something inside me just doesn't feel right about this," or "I can't explain why, but I feel I need to move in a different direction." That inner nudge is not random. It is the Spirit guiding you gently, asking you to trust what you feel, even when you cannot yet see. Another way the Spirit speaks is through what I call holy pressure. It's the weight you feel in your conscience when you keep walking a path that no longer aligns with your calling. It's the unease that grows stronger the more you try to silence it. You may distract yourself with work, with noise, with entertainment, but the pressure always returns. That heaviness is the Spirit reminding you, this is not where you belong. It's time to move. The Spirit also speaks through what many experience as sudden clarity in moments of quiet. Perhaps while walking alone, or resting at night, or sitting in silence, an idea flashes through your mind so clearly it feels like it came from another world. That clarity is not imagination, it is illumination. The Spirit often chooses the moments when you are still to drop wisdom into your heart. Sometimes the Spirit will also make you feel disconnected from things that once defined you. The music, the conversations, the habits that once felt natural now feel empty. You can't explain why you no longer fit in. It's because your spirit has outgrown the environment. That inner disconnection is the Spirit pulling you into a new atmosphere. And here is something very important. When the Spirit speaks inside you, His voice carries peace, even when the message is challenging. Unlike fear, which creates panic, the Spirit's direction may convict you, but it also comforts you. That balance of conviction and peace is the signature of His voice. So the next time you feel a whisper that won't leave you, a weight in your conscience that won't go away, or a flash of clarity that feels bigger than you, don't dismiss it. That is the Spirit trying to lead you. Pause for a moment. Reflect on your life right now. Have you felt these inner nudges lately? If so, write in the comments. I will listen to the Spirit within. Because when you say it out loud, you begin to train your heart to obey the whispers of heaven. And as always, don't forget to stay connected. Subscribe, like, and share this message so that more people can learn to trust the inner guidance of the Spirit. You never know who needs to hear this truth today. The Holy Spirit is not limited to speaking only within your thoughts and emotions. He also speaks through the world around you. Sometimes the signs are hidden in plain sight, waiting for you to notice. One way the Spirit communicates is through nature itself. You may find yourself looking at the sky, the trees, the wind, and suddenly feeling a deep message stirring within you. The sunrise may speak of new beginnings. A storm may remind you of necessary cleansing. A sudden rainbow may whisper hope when you were on the verge of giving up. These are not random. They are spiritual reflections. When the Spirit wants to shift your path, He often awakens your awareness through creation, reminding you that your journey is part of a greater design. Another way He speaks is through events that align in ways that seem too perfect to be accidents. Maybe you miss a train only to avoid an accident. Maybe you lose one opportunity only to discover a better one the next day. Maybe you stumble into a place you were never planning to visit, but meet someone who changes your life. These events are orchestrations. The Spirit arranges circumstances as signs that you are being guided towards a new direction. Then there are the symbols and repetitions. Perhaps you keep seeing the same number, hearing the same phrase, or encountering the same idea over and over again. It may come through songs, conversations, or even things you read. At first, you may dismiss it. But when the pattern repeats too many times to ignore, that's the Spirit underlining His message. Pay attention. I'm speaking to you. The Spirit also speaks through disruptions. Have you ever had your plans interrupted in ways that forced you to pause or reroute? At first, you feel frustrated, but later you realize that the interruption saved you, protected you, or brought you into something new. These interruptions are not accidents. They are interventions. And here is a truth worth remembering. The Spirit's external signs are never meant to confuse you, but to confirm what He is already whispering inside you. The inner nudge and the outer signs work together, like two mirrors reflecting the same light. When your heart feels the call and your world begins to echo it, you can be sure the Spirit is guiding you. So I ask you today, have you been noticing repeated patterns, strange alignments, or signs in the world around you? If so, pause, reflect, and don't ignore them. The Spirit may be using these very signs to tell you, it's time to change your path. And if this resonates with you, declare it right now in the comments. I will not ignore the signs around me. By writing it, you are committing to pay closer attention, to walk with spiritual awareness. And don't forget to share this message. Someone in your circle may be surrounded by signs, but too distracted to see them. Your sharing could be the wake-up call they need.